We're live. Clown World Cousins, clean and streaming, wife and life in. Look at us, Mary. Here we are.
I know. Big day. It's a
Big
big,
day.
big day. Yes. How are you doing, Faye?
I am going to be extremely careful with the words that come out of my mouth. And I think many of us out there should be doing the same thing. All I'm saying is that if you go back about a month ago, it was around with like my Leo drop terribleness and everything. And I was like, well, Mary, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to be very B-U-S-Y. I'm just going to be B-U-S-Y. And you were like, Faye, why not? They're all B-U-S-Y. So I manifested such a level of B-U-S-Y-ness. I didn't have time to go to the bank this week. I didn't go food shopping once. It's like it's too much that I need to sit back, take a deep breath, and let some things go, which is never easy for me. So that means that I'll finally figure it out in like a month and a half, if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get my life in order. So I'm a little frantic from it, but I want to be careful with what I manifest. How are you doing?
I'm good. As I said to you before, I've been so excited all day today that I think I've gone and worn myself out. I've gone and worn myself out, but I wasn't B-U-S-Y. I was L-A-Z-Y and in my head all day. So
yeah, okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, because that's how I ended up so B-U-S-Y. Because I was in a phase where I was getting very L-A-Z-Y. And we have to find the balance, because neither is really good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I will say the best I've said to people before, like, oh, I'm just so lazy. And they're like, are you lazy or are you just worn out? It's like, I mean, let's be honest. My life isn't exactly a cakewalk, but it is. It is.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
Right? Careful of the words that are coming out of our mouths.
I know you're making me paranoid now.
No, I've made myself paranoid. Oh, so yeah, I'm going to be finding balance. Something has to give. I'm a wife and I'm a mother. And when making my family dinner, and I've been kind of snappy at the fam, you know, I'm worn out. So let's get to it. So we have a busy night. We have an exciting night.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the trifecta. We got our first porn bot a couple weeks ago. We have an amazing guest tonight who I can't wait to catch up with and introduce to those of you who've never met this beautiful soul. And then Mary, then what? Then
we go on to Ceiling Fan Man.
We found out he asked us last night. So we're very excited. And that's probably why we're a little frantic. His audience is a smidge bigger than ours.
He's hilarious. I think he's so funny. I hope he plays Mr. Brady at some time when I'm talking. He just cuts me off with Mr. Brady.
He's in my top 3 favorite streamers of all time. That's the truth. Joe is my witness. When I listen to him, because I usually listen to him over the weekend, it's like a real treat, like to have my coffee and I don't have to work and I just listen to Ceiling Fan Man or watch him. He's got a lot to watch, so you can even watch it. I laugh so hard. It's like he's a riot.
Yeah,
I'm excited, and I met him in person once. He's such a cool guy, and we have mutual friends with Ray and Christian, and he's just awesome. So that's really exciting. But tonight, let's talk about our show now.
Okay, so I see that YoungLove is backstage. Yay. Shall we bring her on? I've never talked to her.
She's in our chat quite a bit. I'll give her a quick intro and then we'll welcome her. I'm so excited to catch up with her. Many of you probably know her from chats, and she's been on a few streams, which you can tell us about. I met her in person at Flattoberfest, I want to say 2021. Her and her mom, and we hit it off. Well, everyone hits it off right away at those things, but we hung out with them quite a bit, and she's just such a beautiful, beautiful person. I can't wait to catch up, hear what she's been up to and what's on her mind. Welcome, YoungLove. Are you going to let her in?
Okay. Oh, impatient.
Hello, ladies. It's good to see you. I actually was It's so good to see you guys. We're actually running late, so I'm glad. I thought I was running late, just on time.
Just
Just on
sometimes.
time.
Are you?
But yeah, it's good to see you guys, and I'm.
Are you BUSY too? Are you?
Sorry, I think the connection's a little bit screwed up.
Oh no. So how can you are you
Shoot,
hearing me
okay.
good?
Sorry about that. Yep, I'm hearing you now. Yep.
Awesome. So this is Mary. Mary, this is YoungLove. You're both sisters from other misters. YoungLove, how have you been? How's everything? How are you in the mood?
Nice to finally talk to you, meet you. I've been doing good. Just pretty much hibernating, honestly, because wintertime's here, and yeah, in hibernation mode, kind of, and yes, waiting for the sunshine to return.
Yeah. Oh, please. It's been miserable here. And it's not even snow, you know? It's like
you know what part of the world we're in. Do you want to tell Mary and our little show what part of the country you're from?
Yeah, I'm actually in northern Michigan at the moment, so it's pretty cold. We get quite a bit of lake effect snow, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But it's beautiful though. We're in the country, see a lot of wild animals, and wouldn't have it any other way. It's beautiful compared to being in the city where we used to live. It's a big change.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I hear that, girl. I'm lucky. We live in a pretty populated area. It gets very annoying, but there's nature around. You know what I mean? There's plenty of trails, there's beaches, there's lakes. Thank God. I could never live in New York City ever. There's not enough money to pay me to live there. So anyway, what's things like? Like what's new? Let's just get right to it, YoungLove. Like what's going on with you and what are you seeing? What's been on your mind lately?
Well, honestly, what's been on my mind, I haven't been into the whole, community a whole lot. I've been dealing with my own issues, family issues, health issues, whatever. So that led me to take a step back and examine certain things, and anything I'm going to say from here on out is just my opinion, just what I've examined personally. And I know others have felt the same, and maybe they haven't expressed it as much, but again, this is just my opinion. And it's very interesting. I know we've all heard cults are cult, the cult mentality and a lot of things like that. And cults come in a lot of shapes and forms. It's very interesting. Even as simple as, the truth community in a way. I've kind of stepped back and I've examined certain things, and what I find out, it's kind of cultish in a way, just because a lot of people, there's I don't know, it's a pretty deep. I've done a lot of research, and it goes pretty deep. But give me 2 minutes here.
Sure,
I'm gonna go and look at some notes. I know when I first came into the whole truth community or whatever, there was a lot of rabbit holes, as usual. A lot of rabbit holes leading to nowhere, basically. And some of that, would call that mysticism, which is fascinating in itself. Mysticism is pretty fascinating. And a lot of things I've noticed too, a lot of drama in the community, and
we got into
when
that
we're
last
trying
week.
to come together for the truth, yeah, and it's unfortunate because there's so many things that right now are divisive about, and we should be coming together. And because a lot of the things, we assume to be true, but we only can speculate. And to be, divisive on those topics, the the play of the enemy, basically. And all right, here I'm gonna look at. I have to take notes on things because my memory has been kind of crappy lately. So
before you get started, I just want
let's
to
see
we're very honest here on Clown World Cousins, and I shared with Mary that you wanted to get into nature cults, and she was like, "Well, what does she mean?" And I'm like, "I'm not sure, but I can't wait to find out." So I did watch one documentary on cults, but I like where you're going with it, and I couldn't agree more so far. Mary, any thoughts on what she just said before she shares her notes?
No, I mean, we were talking somewhat about the infighting and things last week. Maybe that is why you wanted to jump on to kind of talk about that. But take it wherever you want, young love. We're here to listen.
Amen.
Alrighty, well, all right. Well, my next thing I was gonna say, and by the way, I appreciate you ladies for having me on. I kind of get nervous on stream, so if I stutter a little bit, forgive you. But what I was gonna say next was a lot of people, coming into the truth, wanting the truth. You are very vulnerable to a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts. And I've seemed to find that it's easier to be fooled when you are in that state of mind. You are susceptible to, a lot of different ideas, some mostly true. And it, you could be getting fooled and wasting your time with a whole lot of things. And also a lot of people too, they'll seek companionship because they've been lied to, and that will bring a group together, and then you'll obviously have leaders that bring groups together, and yeah, and trauma bonding is another huge one. Another huge thing. Sorry, go ahead, dear.
Sorry, there's a delay. I didn't mean to talk over you. I thought, but anyway, it's fine. Sorry about that. Yeah, when you kind of, I don't know about what your story is, but when I first started really waking up to like the truth and things like that, I wasted so much time on all these other like thinking alternative thoughts because I was so hungry for information that I even went down the Niraboo rabbit hole before I came to the flat earth rabbit hole, but I was like, oh yeah, Planet X is coming and it's gonna, so I know what you mean when you say like you get into it and then you go down those rabbit holes. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that I think that you're really illustrating what all of us have been through in one. It's so intense because we do love the truth. There's a lot with all the drama, infighting, whatever's going on. The one thing that at least the real ones have in common is that we do love the truth, and we've been played with a lot. Go ahead, young love.
Right, absolutely. I agree with what both of you ladies said, and when you have a group of people who think like that, and we've been to a big extent, and, you're trying to find others who know that and who can see that, and in a way, I would say cults tend to isolate people from their friends and their family, even though they have a different opinion and different outlook on things. They tend to, it's like an us versus them mentality in a way.
I love where you're going with this. It's a connection I haven't thought of. But how often I have no friends. I was going to share that Mary sent me my 4th Christmas card. Thanks, Mary. So seriously, I hear it over and over again on streams. I have no friends. I have no friends. It's a joke. We're not So the isolation. Oh my gosh, keep going.
Right, yeah, and a lot of us are isolated due to, the fact that, we see a lot of things other people don't. And that's
And
where the
people think
trauma
we're
bonding
downers.
comes in.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's where the trauma bonding will come in too, and we all, stay together due to that. And then where the us versus them mentality comes in is, we have friends and family that we love dearly who people haven't talked to in such a long time just because certain prominent, content creators will say, well, screw these people, blah, 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 blah. And, it's people that we love, people that we care for, that you should care for, that we shouldn't be isolating ourselves from just based on what is happening in society.
Right. Can I just
And that's what
counter?
cults like to do as well. Go ahead.
I definitely think that what you're saying is true, but for me, and I don't know, I don't think that anyone. It's so for me, it's not that anyone told me like, oh, stay away from these people, don't bother. It's so hard for me to be around normies. It's really, you just have to like. It's so surfacey. But yeah, the cults like to isolate people. Mary, what do you think? Like, why have you been felt? Well, you have a huge family. Do you feel isolated from your family and from friends? And why do you
Well,
think?
definitely from friends, but it's I don't know if it's necessarily the fact that I couldn't. Okay, this is kind of like the catch-22, and I think that YoungLove will understand this too a little bit. Once you start understanding things more and more in the way that things work, it becomes more difficult to be around people that are so like it's frustrating to be around them because they're so plugged in. They're so going along with the narrative. So a lot of people, I feel like, maybe do self isolate, but it's more of a protective mechanism. I don't know, maybe. What do you think on that, YoungLove?
Sorry, you did cut out a bit, but I did hear most of what you said. I would agree, and even it is difficult around people who, can't see or understand the things that we see and understand. But that also doesn't mean that we can't, set certain feelings aside in a way. Like the gentleman you had on the last stream, he kind of said the same thing in a way. You can't, you sometimes you just have to set certain feelings aside and and still love that person, still be friends with them, even though we have different mindsets. And cults like to, like to take you away from people that you're supposed to love the most. And I know I keep talking about the cult thing, but really, I mean, it is the mentality of a cult in a way. And another point I wanted to bring up, we've all heard of brainwashing before, and it's always repeating the same thing over and over again. And that's all I've heard too within, a lot of parts. A lot of people just continue to say the same thing, and I only have to watch one stream normally to know what the other 10 streamers are saying, because it's just a giant, circle jerk in a way. The phrase that Faye you used the other day was actually, your last stream was, it's true. And it gets to the point where people can't distinguish the truth between fiction because there's so many different things going back and forth. But our connection might be a little bit screwed up, ladies. I'm sorry if I keep interrupting you.
Not at all. You're good. Not at all.
Okay.
Little echo, but that's fine.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And another thing too, a lot of other things happen in cults. A lot of just a lot of things. A lot of a lot of sexual things happen in cults, and a lot of these have been through a lot of things, and certain content creators think they can get away with it. I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not gonna do anything, but there's been a lot of going on in this, so-called community, and I think people need to really take a step back and examine what they're doing and examine what they're putting their energy into, and it's yeah. And at the end of the day, we all have something in common. We're all trying to look for the truth. And like I said earlier, it's really easy to get fooled when you're looking for the truth because there's so many different possibilities in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I do want to point out this comment from Waters Above.
Hey, Water.
Yeah, discernment is necessary. So discernment being a gift of the spirit, and that maybe there could be a lack of discernment from what you're saying, that it can become so cultish.
It's like the cult of personality, which I'm not. I probably am guilty of falling for the cult of personality, but I don't think I am. But that I probably am. And for you, like YoungLove, like you're the type that for you to really be thinking about this and saying something, because you're in a lot of people's chats and you're a loyal person, and anyone who's ever met you and who's known you for a while in the community knows you are a real one, and you're wonderful, and you're discerning, and so like I think I've told you this 100 times, but I wish I was at your level at your age, So I totally see what you're saying about the cult thing. So do you think there's a solution? Like, what do you think? What do you think we should do?
Maybe she wasn't done with her presentation yet.
Sorry.
Maybe kind of giving her the bum's rush. I did have one more thing I was thinking though.
You're okay.
Wait, YoungLove, I want to apologize. Mary and I are a little frantic tonight, so we're just trying. So
I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting quietly taking notes on what I want to talk to her about.
Okay, I usually go to bed at 9. I'm trying.
Yeah, but YoungLove, I was thinking when you were talking and I saw that comment about discernment, that like maybe also pride does play a role in like us pushing people away and being like, you're a moron, I'm so much better than you. I know what's going on. That's just something I personally have done. So I just want to throw that out there on top of it. So go ahead.
YoungLove, can I just mention the elephant in the room though before you go on to it? I want your opinion on this. Guys, I'm sorry. I think it's mostly the guys that are being dramatic and divisive, in my opinion. It's just that's what I see. So I don't know. I don't want to piss anyone off, but that's what I see. I see fighting most with men. Go ahead, YoungLove.
Right. I mean, I would agree with both of you ladies. Mary, I've been in the same boat. I've pushed people away just based on my opinions and my thought process at the time. And a lot of content creators push that away. That's when we can act how our cult leaders act in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of the content creators act that way. They push that egotistical mindset. And Faye, what you said, I would say so. There's a lot of drama. There's been a lot of drama. I would say both equally, men and women's side. Personally, what I've seen, but and if you've seen more of the men's side, it could be too, because I mean, I would say the stakes are high right now. There's a lot going on, and men, they have, in my opinion, they have a harder job in a way when it comes to certain things. They're the breadwinners of the family. They need to make sure there's food on the table. Depends on the situation, and it's hard times, and they could be tired, they could be stressed, they could be angry, and that's why there's a lot of drama going on with the men's side of things.
I agree with you, and this is something I haven't said out loud yet, but this is what I think our system, and especially the last 2 years, men have been completely emasculated. Some men, they want to provide, they want to protect, and our system, our sick, disgusting, anti-human, devolving by the second system doesn't allow men to provide for their families. It doesn't allow them to protect them the way they want. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. And it probably can't feel very good for a lot of decisions that people had to make the last 2 years, when you're the head of the family.
I completely agree. And like I said, times are tough for people right now, and they have been. There's nothing new under the sun. And just right now, it seems like times are a bit more tough for people. But shoot, I totally lost my train of thought there for a second. My bad.
Well, we were talking about what were we talking about, Mary?
Anyway,
finish your notes. How far did you get with your notes? Your notes
well,
were good.
anyway, here, the last thing I want to say about the whole, yeah, I was gonna say there was one more, or actually, I'd say there's one more thing. Well, no, let's say there's two more things I wanted to go over. Public humiliation is another big thing with the cults. A lot of like the cult leaders, they like to cause drama, call people out, and a lot of it's just based on device tops. They like to divide people, and what's really crazy too is because there's a lot of truth within flat Earth and the Earth not being a globe, and that's where in terms of a little bit of the community.
You're cutting out a little bit, and I want to hear your thoughts.
And then there's a lot of lies and a lot of drama and a lot of things that should not be happening. About certain about it. Can you?
It's cutting out. I want to hear what you're saying.
Shoot it. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Try again.
I'm gonna jump back out.
Okay. Sometimes that fixes it.
How about now? Shoot it. The thing I wanted to say was we've all heard the famous quote, it's easier to fool people than to convince them they've been fooled. That's a big quote that that's always stuck with me since the beginning. It always fascinates me because it really is the truth. You think you found the truth in the community and you found the ultimate truth, and
It's cutting out a little bit. Oh, YoungLove. I don't know if we have a good connection. I don't know what to do, Mary. What should she try to do? Oh,
yeah, she's going to leave and come back. Sometimes that does help. But also, just so you know, Faye, I know you don't do as many not lives, but like on Discord and stuff as I do. If it's cutting out, sometimes you can catch what they're saying. You don't have to tell them they're cutting out. Like sometimes it will just like come together and
I know. When I listen, that's annoying when people do that too, but
yeah.
I just want technology to work.
It's not gonna work. We knew that. We knew that when we sold our souls for it.
Good point. Well, I hope she calls back in. I want to hear the rest of her notes.
Yeah, I was thinking
I'm not going to say who it was. I'll say this again when she comes back. But Joe and I were listening to a stream in the car, and I said to him, I go, God, his followers really are cultish at times, aren't they? And Joe agreed with me.
Yeah. So real quick, while we're in intermission waiting for her again, she was talking, Faye. I told you about something called second shock. And I wonder, so let me just explain this. I was listening to a profiler, an FBI profiler, because, as you do. And he was talking about the grieving process and how people that go through traumatic events, they go through shock at first. And then, roughly about 18 months to 36 months later, they will go through what's called a second shock. And I was thinking about it while this profiler's talking about it. And of course, I'm not putting it towards what he's talking about. I'm in my own head being like, wait, is that what we're seeing in the truth community with all the, it seems recently, I know we were like, is it spiritual? What's going on here? But I was like, maybe people are seriously experiencing second shock from 2020.
I thought that you nailed it, and I forgot what I was gonna say. And people go insane. That's one of the symptoms of second shock. It's like people start going insane.
Well, if you go through the process of almost like grieving again, and it's like nobody in the truth community is going to be in the denial stage during second shock. I think it's just the angry and bargaining stage that we're all still like kind of rehashing. Mm-hmm. She's back.
Yay. Let's try it again.
Mm-hmm.
So what should I don't know. Is it going to work, Mary? YoungLove, can you hear us?
Yeah, just give her a second. She's trying to figure it out.
If YoungLove didn't hear you say that about second shock, you're going to have to tell her. Because I think you're right. Where did you hear about that? As a crime show?
Oh, yeah. It was, a FBI profiler, because you know how reliable they are. But anyway, I still thought it was interesting. I mean, anybody who's been through the stages of grief can...
Hey, there's something going on. Even the normies are feeling it. They really are.
YoungLove, jump in anytime if you're... just jump in and start talking if you're here. Otherwise, Faye and I are just going to fill the dead air.
Finished the stream, unfortunately.
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, it's really glitchy on my end, so... But anyway, all I want to say is, again, anything I said was just my opinion, and I really appreciate you ladies for having me on, and I wish my connection was better because it'd be so nice to hear and talk to you more. But again, I am in the boonies, so our connection is kind of bad sometimes. But
well, we can hear you perfectly right now if you want to finish.
But thank you guys.
Sum up your idea.
Well, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot much I wanted to say, and I mean, other than let's just try to stick together and not be divisive over silly things, and try not to be egotistical, and just really be careful and watch who's, and just be careful who you're listening to, and try to feel their energy out. And in a way, try not to act like them, because there's a lot of content creators who aren't very good people. And that's just what I've experienced. So, and you ladies are incredible, though. You got your talks that you have are fascinating, and they always help me out being a woman, and I appreciate that. And you ladies are awesome.
Well, you're awesome too. And so any tips, like, because you're coming through great right now. Like, how you dealing with the day-to-day out there, though? Like, we can have some girl talk, okay? Like, because it is a big circle jerk out there, YoungLove. For me, it's a roller coaster. When I first met you in real life a few years ago, it was, and it still is. How about you?
I would say so too. Yeah, I mean, it's calmed down quite a bit, though, since moving into the country. I haven't worked, so I haven't been in dealing with society as much. So But when I do go back into, like, say, the city or whatever for any various reasons, you can definitely feel a difference in the energy, and
Yeah.
it's but and it is hard to I mean, especially being 23, you know, and being a woman, obviously, you start thinking about having babies. The world is so crazy, and it's just like, as much as I would love to have babies, I wouldn't say why would I bring a child into the world, but it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
It makes
As
me so
beautiful as
sad,
that would
young love.
be, but
Yeah.
shout out to the women are, and hopefully they raise some warriors, because there's a battle going on for sure.
My heart goes out to you, young love, because you know what? It is a human right for a woman to be a mother. And I was telling someone the other day, my daughter Lena wrote her, like, she looked like wrote in her, I wrote it in my diary, but like she was saying her prayers one night, and I go, what would you like to ask God for? And she goes, someday, God, she was really little, she goes, I'd like a nice little house and a nice little baby. And you know what, she was so little, and it was just, but now, young love, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, I don't even, if she when she gets older told me she was pregnant, I don't know if I would be happy. Like, that's how messed up it is. Sorry, Mary. What, you don't like that? I know, Mary. I'm just being honest.
We can't
Yeah,
get
you guys
nihilistic. We have to be very careful not to become nihilistic and act like
Mary,
there is no future and
okay,
we're already beaten. We've already lost. No, hope springs eternal, people. At
okay,
Yeah,
least
but
in my head, they
I just
yeah,
want
do.
you to know,
I
Mary,
agree. I
Mary, I want to agree with you, but see, the problem is I wouldn't wish the stress that I was under. Like, it just, this world's crazy, and I'm not, my child, a child isn't guaranteed happiness, but they're most certainly guaranteed suffering. I struggle with it. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying this is a struggle, and I don't like these thoughts. But go ahead. So, young love, I don't like, yeah, you're 23, but my Mary is right. You're not a nihilistic person. You're a beautiful soul. So I can't even imagine this shit happening when I was 23, girl. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would totally agree with what both of you said. And Mary, you definitely have to think positive about things. You can't just let it get you down, even though it does suck at times. But I would say, having a child, making a beautiful life for that child would be a lot better than just giving up and saying, no, forget about it. That's much better. Being able to raise someone who can possibly help in the war that's going on.
Yes. I like
Yeah.
what you said before that we're raising warriors. I don't know anything about your convictions, but I believe in a creator God who is in control of everything. And my children were selected to be here now for whatever reason. As much as it sucks, I would hate to be a young person. Like my son's about to graduate high school. That the knowing what he knows because I'm his mother, going out there about to create a life for himself. It's like I couldn't do it, but he's doing okay with it. I mean, I couldn't. I would be a nightmare at 17, 18 years old if I was going through this. So,
Yeah, it's a trip, and that's pretty much when I woke up. I was like about 17. I think I turned about 17 when I woke up to it all, and it's just like, wow, it's a hard pill to swallow. But
At
I'd rather
17, yeah.
deal with it now and learn about it now than in my future. Yeah, and then have to put so much time and effort system and know that now than on my deathbed and realizing that, and then
Yeah.
but
It's
I thank you ladies for having me on so much. I think I'm gonna have to go because my connection is really bad.
all right. Well, you keep the faith. It was so good to
You
talk to
guys
you.
keep
Text me.
glitching out on my end for some reason. I'm not sure why, but
Well, thank you. Sometime you're gonna have to call in when the connection's better. And I love you. Tell your mom I love her. I agree with everything that you said, and you know, we do need to stick together. And you can always consider me a sister forever. I miss you. I can't wait to give you a hug in real life. Thank you for coming on. I think she's already gone.
All right, good. I didn't want to interrupt her. Thank you, Young Love.
I'm not good at having guests. I'm sorry, especially when I have a show at 9. I'm like, and then
hold on. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing what Boston Ray put out there? You probably already knew.
I already knew.
I am so excited.
I don't want Michelle to be mad, so I'm waiting for Michelle to tell me it's okay.
Oh my gosh. Well, he just put it in chat. I didn't know it was a secret. Come on, use some discretion, Ray.
No, I'm sure it's fine. Congratulations.
That is so exciting. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. But anyway, God bless. God bless Ray and family. Yeah, that was the she's a smart, I was about to say girl. To me, she's a girl. I'm an old lady.
She's young. She's young love. She's so like smart, and she's mind-blowingly amazing. And I'm not that's not hyperbole. She's glows from the inside out. I enjoyed my conversations with her and her mom are like this. Her mom is equally amazing. And it was, so one thing, I know that she's talking about the truth community. I'll say this, if it wasn't, as much as I hate the PSYOP, the medical PSYOP of the last almost 3 years, it brought us together out there. I would have never met her. Do you know what I mean? But there was such an urgency. I was like, Joe, I have to be with people that know this isn't real. I can't, because everyone around me going crazy. And so that's the only thing I guess that's one of the things that we got to put in the thankful pile, you know, that we
also with her being like,
we can't blow it with cult. We can't blow it. She's right with culty behavior. I agree with that. Go ahead, Mary.
Oh, see, I do like that she's like kind of in the country and she's sheltered from a lot of this crap, because that's how I feel sometimes. Sometimes I hear stories that I'm like, wait, what's going on? You know, and I don't experience, even though I'm right in the suburbs of a major metropolitan area, like I don't deal with a lot of this stuff firsthand. So like I appreciate where she's coming from on that. Definitely. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird, it's funny because my husband was listening to us last week, and he said to me, he came home, it must have been yesterday, and he's like, oh, you know what's weird? I was like, what? He's like, even in the like armchair historian part of YouTube, there's all this fighting. And yeah, it's everywhere. It's not just the truth community, but we have to rise above it, you know?
Well, I'm not going to fight with anyone. And I actually, of course, I don't want to offend anyone. I'm not, you know, I admitted, you know, we named some names. I mean, you know, if I did, I said to Joe, listen, if drama comes knocking on my door, I definitely ask for it, but I'm not going to be looking to do it again. You're right, Mary. We have to rise above it. And I don't know. I think so. I've been kind of weighing the pros and cons of my doggy daycare job, because there's so much I love, but I don't know if I can physically handle it. I don't want to say it that out loud. It's very physical. But one of the pros is when I get there for 3 hours, my phone is away. I put my phone in my locker. So I'm not listening to anything. I'm not looking at a screen. And it's nice to have that set 3 hours. I told my family, if there's an emergency, call the daycare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it gets to be too much. Some streams I listen to, people end up fighting, like literally on camera. It's stuff I've heard before and again and again. And I'm not putting anyone down, you know, but So yeah, 3 hours with no screen, no audio is something that goes in the pro column. How about you? Like, what are you listening to these days? Are you cutting back?
Yeah, I just, you know what? There's a lot of people here that I'm not familiar with, and I don't want to scandalize them by smoking on camera. So I did shut off my camera just to make everybody comfortable. I don't want to trigger any ex-smokers or anything like that. So, what am I listening to? You know, the usual suspects, Boston Ray,
Yeah.
Ceiling Fan Man, Catch the Melodome from time to time. A lot of true crime. I've been watching a lot of skincare. I'm all over the map. All right, let's be honest. It depends on what mood I'm in. Some days I just want to hear about like vitamin C for my skin. And then other days I'm so upset and I'm like, I'm ready to take on the world, and I'll go down to the truther side. You know what I mean?
Roller coaster. Yeah. I'm on one of those. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to wake up to, but I'm definitely to BUSY, and I have to fix that because it's a little too frantic for me. It doesn't, when I feel rushed all the time, that's, you know what I mean? I don't like that feeling. I've made too many commitments, let's just say. And Joe reminded me, he's like, Faye, I don't know what you're upset about. It's your life. He's like, you know, all I have to, it's not a big deal. I've never been good at saying goodbye. I'm really good at burning bridges because it's just like, it's just like go nuclear. I don't like you guys at all. I'm weird with them.
See, that's funny because I'm more of a skulk away type of person.
Yeah, you're the Irish goodbye.
I'm not making any announcements.
Yeah, you always sneak out of my backyard in the summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not even mad at you. Yeah, so I don't know. Crazy times we're living in. There's definitely something going around. I would say there's something in the water, but we've known that for a long time. And
I just need to focus on the spiritual side. I forget who said it, but someone said something, and we've kind of all come to the realization that it all starts and ends. It's spiritual. We're being told that it's all material, and we're up against something that wants us to just think and care about the material all the time. So we know it's spiritual. So let's nurture the spiritual side. I've been trying to pray more. I mean, that's all I can do. And I know I can listen to truthers tell me I'm talking to the wrong God. I'm calling him the wrong name. But you know what I say to him? Him. I don't know. I say, all I can do is pray to you the way I have since I was a little girl. I don't know anything, but I know you've been with me my whole life. I don't know anything, but I know I need to pray. I know I feel better when I pray, and things happen. Go ahead.
Yeah, you sent me that video earlier in the week about basically the NPCs.
I
stop messing with my head, Faye.
I listened to that 3 times.
Yeah,
for anyone that's wondering, it was Ian mentioned on Wide Awake. He didn't mention, he played it, and it was a video about NPCs by Flat Earth Paradise. I don't agree with everything he said. He started getting into like AI simulation. I don't know anything about that. But what struck me as true, and I really thought about it, is the reason for NPCs. And for whatever, Francis Sage, I don't think he would mind me saying this. I've had some deep conversations. He lives near us. He comes to a lot of in-person meetups. You guys have seen him in chats. Super smart guy. Mary, he talked to you about this too, about like heaven and earth meets as a purgatory.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't think I've ever spoken to him about that, but my sister is always like, where are we?
Right.
Like, what is, because you have to define what is purgatory. And it's like, it's neither heaven nor hell. It's the space in between.
And we seem to have a little bit of both in this place. So that video, and I'm just paraphrasing, but it was like the NPCs are the soulless beings that they're showing you like you're in this purgatory where they're going to show you have to see the opposite of love. You have to see ways in which you would never live. You have to see it for some reason. I watched it 3 times. I'll probably watch it again, and I'm just taking it in. I thought it was very interesting.
It was. So my Kitten Son says, my neighborhood is filled with the same video characters. I will say,
I believe it.
whenever we see a group of people like on a corner of a street and they don't seem to be doing anything, my son always laughs and he's like, oh man, look at the NPCs, like the villagers in Minecraft. They're all just like huddled together. It's like, what are you guys doing? Do any of you know each other? What's going on here?
And that's another thing for the pro column for my doggy daycare. Like being in public freaks me out. Like knowing, I don't know anything, but kind of like being introduced to these concepts. Like it's hard to be out in public for me. So being around dogs are very real. They're very real.
But going back to like the purgatory and how, everybody that we come in contact with teaches us something about ourselves, right? And I think that's a philosophy that we can all kind of get on board with. Like either you want to punch them, you want to lose your patience with them, you see a quality in them that you really admire and you want to emulate. No matter who it is, you're going to take it in, internalize it, and then try to change yourself. But if we're dealing in a world of these non-player characters and they're only out there superficially to get a rise out of us, a reaction, it's not a fruitful exchange.
When you just said what you just said about every single person that you meet, like has an effect on you, I was going to argue with you. I was going to say, no, there's plenty of people in this world that, doesn't reflect anything about me. But then I thought about it really fast. I was like, no, Faye, you're talking about people and things you've seen on screens or in newspapers or in some form of media. Every human being I've ever come in contact with, even if we didn't say each other, even if just our heat, someone was standing behind me and I never turned around and saw them. So real connection, I would definitely agree with you. And it just kind of made me realize how fake media is. I've just, not to change the subject, I can't get through any shows, guys. Everything's written by AI. I know what it's going to say next. It's so boring. Do you agree, Mary? It's crazy. It's so obviously AI's writing this stuff.
Or really, I'm sorry. The other night, I had to sit through a rom-com, to calm my nerves. And so I watched The Proposal, from like 2009 with Sandra Bullock and that other guy. I forget his name. But anyway, he's some other guy. And it was seriously like something that was written by somebody in junior high, maybe wrote the script for that. It wasn't AI. It couldn't have been. It was so stupid.
Yeah. I know.
I was so mad because when my daughters came in, I was like, guys, get out. I don't know what's going to happen. This is a romantic comedy. You never know. Yeah. And then I came out of my room and my daughter was like, oh, how was the movie? And I was just like, oh, thank you. Ryan Reynolds, who's supposed to be like this hot dude, but he's not. He's just a dude.
Okay, let's have more girl talk. We're entitled.
Sorry, Jem.
So sorry. That was I've shut off TV shows because they've tried to place these little gamma guys. It's like trying to make them the heartthrob. It's like, you're not fooling anyone. No.
Yeah. So anyway, I left my room. I was so mad, and I wish AI wrote it, because at least I would have been like, oh wow, AI totally wrote this. I'm gonna sit through it and see how the algorithm's working in this movie. But no, it was some stupid idiot who wasted 2 hours of my life. They did it. I didn't.
How's your algorithm trap going?
He's not cute. I know. I'm not trying to be superficial. He's not at all.
Which one really aggravates me, girls, since we're doing girl talk? Chris Pratt, who used to be in The Office, not The Office, like Parks and Rec. And now he's some superhero guy. It's like, I'm not buying it.
At least he's cute. I will give him. He's a cute guy. Very cute.
Everyone has their type. So to me, he's more like a brother. He's definitely not ugly, but he's not. He doesn't have that, hot.
So yeah, I've been still trying to break the algorithm. Still trying to break it. I'm up in there clicking on the most obscure things I can find. And somehow I got like into like the self-help part of YouTube, which is the worst advice. It's the worst advice.
Okay, tell me an example. You have to give me an example now.
Okay. So part of the like 5 things that you can change that's going to totally change your life.
Let's hear
Totally change your life, guys. All right? Get ready. Set an alarm clock. All right? Get your 8 hours. Drink plenty of water. Just everything that's just like obviously fruits and vegetables.
Well, everyone's feeling so run down. It's like that isn't gonna help. I was listening to We Are Awake while I was getting ready. And I'm always like a few days behind. There was some, maybe he was either Australian or English guy. He was bringing up like a really like kind of sad point. He was talking about how like everything's telling you like this is how you get a side hustle, and Bitcoin, you need extra side hustles, Bitcoin. They never say we have a problem when your job can't support you. Like, let's look at that. And it's just more like work more. And as someone that has been working a lot, I asked for it. I went out and looked for it. I'm run down and I work part-time. It's like you would think that with all this technology and stuff, shouldn't the work week be 4 days? And I'm not talking work from home. I mean, the work week should be shortened to 4 days, right? If we're supposedly evolving. What are you thinking about? You look like, sorry.
No, you know what? Now I'm getting like really self-conscious that I'm all washed out. I don't have on any makeup. Now, all of a sudden now I'm just like, oh, how dare I criticize Chris Pratt?
I know. I'm nervous too. We found out last night. He was so sweet. I was sitting on the couch with Joe trying to watch some AI bullshit. We turned it off. It was on Netflix. And Joe listened to his message. He goes, Faye, I have to play this for you. And I go, who is it? I thought it was like Ray or something, because Ray is hilarious and always leaves Joe funny messages. And it was Ceiling Fan Man. And he's like, are the clowns, I mean, the cousins available? And so I called you and we called him together. And I think it was a very chaotic. We were like, so,
yeah.
And so, now it's just like, but that was last night. It's his audience is a little bit bigger. And I'm not really in it for a big audience, but that's okay. We will be an interesting conversations because both of you have an interest in crime and serial killers, and I definitely have an interest in the narrative that's being pushed and what it does to society.
Yeah, I'm excited. Again, I'm in it for a good time. How's that? I don't care how big or small. He's a good time. He's a funny guy. So
hilarious.
I'm excited to head over there. And hold on, I do love that Kitten Sons. They are all part of the cult. None of them are cute. They are all creeps.
Ooh. I'm trying to think of what actors. Okay, there's some hot guys. I can think of a couple.
Sophia the robot showed her real thoughts. Yeah, I have been trying to keep up with how, like, because isn't Sophia the robot like
that's hilarious.
Yeah, the most with Stephen.
Oh my God. Did you ever see Ceiling? I'm gonna let you talk, but Ceiling
go.
Makes fun of Stephen Hawking so much. It's so funny. He's like, we're supposed to believe that this guy could talk to through a computer chip in his brain. He goes, you know that no one's ever been able to do that before. It's never been done. It's still not done.
I know. Isn't it kind of sad though that they like kept rolling out this guy and there's obviously a man behind the curtain. You know what I mean? It's like, who's this poor abused man in the wheelchair?
That is really true because he really did seem to have some handicaps that you can't fake out. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that. But we're idiots for falling for it. I fell for it. I was never an atheist ever. Agnostic at times, but yeah, this guy.
I want to meet the dwarf who lived. It's a man behind the curtain, okay? Mike's over there thinking it's like the guy who operated R2D2 in Star Wars. But anyway.
Speaking that your stamp on my Christmas card is R2D2.
Yes, you know why I chose him? So
he's my favorite Star Wars character is R2D2. He's a
That's
Jedi.
Hilarious.
He saves the day all the time. Go ahead.
He really is the hero of the series. I agree with that, but that's not why I chose him. I chose him because of that commercial back from like the 1980s where C-3PO comes in and he's being wicked uptight when R2D2's just trying to enjoy his cigarette.
Yeah.
And he says, you know, R2D2, you're smoking. You know, he's all uptight. And I was like, there it is. I told you I was going to send you one.
It's very pretty. Very pretty. Love, Mary. Hope your spirits are bright this Christmas. I'm trying. I bought the dogs I walk. I walk 4 dogs a week, and I bought them each a little bone. But that's it so far. That's only because I don't have time to go to the store and I work at a doggy daycare. We can talk. We're not going to stream next week because we're going to be busy with Christmas stuff. So let's talk now. Mary, how's your Christmas going with 8 children? Like, are you feeling it? Come on.
No, I'm excited. I'm such a bad example. Like, I have the Christmas trees. I do all the things that we know the origins of, but
yeah, we don't care. We already talked about that, and we're not going to apologize for it.
Yeah, I just want to, like, literally, life is hard enough, okay?
Yeah, when you live in the dark Northeast, you want to put some lights on a goddamn tree, and, you know, my daughter's middle name is Noelle. I love Christmas. I want to.
That's my daughter's middle name too.
I know what it's about, and even Santa Claus. I don't feel bad about lying to my kids about Santa. Saint Nicholas allegedly was a real guy. He lived in Turkey, and his neighbor had 7 daughters, and he didn't have any money. And back then, if you didn't have a dowry, you couldn't get married. This is just the story. And he threw in a bags of money for the daughters so they could get married. And it's a really sweet story. And I do believe in saints. One of my favorite books is Lives of the Saints. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Ray is going to do a 48-hour stream. Wow.
I'm going to be busy, Ray, and in bed. Ray streams very late.
No, that's fun. I'll be there at some point. You know I will be. But listen, can we wrap it up so I can throw on some makeup before we have to go on the other live?
All right.
Come on.
Well, okay, but let's say wishing everyone a happy holiday. We're not going to stream next week. Join us on Ceiling. We didn't share the link to Ceiling Fan Man.
I put it, Faye, you put a lot of pressure on me. I'm not very techie, but I did find out we do have a community page, and I put it on our community page. So I don't know what that means, if that does anything or not.
Well, I hope that anyone that would tune in here would is a subscriber to Ceiling Fan Man, because he really is one of my top 3 of all time. I've been a Patreon of his and since the day he started his channel, because I used to hear him call into shows.
My son is 10 years old. We stopped celebrating Christmas 4 years ago, and just today he told me that he's disappointed that we don't celebrate anymore.
Well, first,
you gotta live your convictions at the same time. Like, it's hard. I'm not here to judge anybody. All I know is I just want to have fun.
I want to have the Christmas spirit. I want to. I'm just, but
I mean, turn on.
Thanksgiving used to be on the second to last Thursday of November. Some people say that's a Mandela effect. I don't know if they just changed it officially. That one I don't know. But I do know it used to be the second to last Thursday. Now it's always the last Thursday. So in my opinion, Christmas feels like it comes too fast. But that's also a thing I keep rehearing in streams is everyone feels like time is speeding up. And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I will say turn on the song "Oh Holy Night," and if you don't get goosebumps listening to that on Christmas Eve,
Amen.
I don't know what to tell you.
Mary That's my favorite Christmas song. I literally think it was written by angels. I'm not kidding. But I texted you when I was getting my hair done the other day, and what did I say? I said they're playing Christmas music and it's triggering me. But that's that superficial, it's all about snow. It's all about money. It's all about this. Once in a while, a religious one sneaks in, and I like that. But just the fluff, superficial. Oh, okay. Worst Christmas song. You want me to go first? Or you go first.
The worst?
The worst ever.
I would say the worst ever is Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney.
100%. Yes. Oh my God. That song makes me want to rip my hair out. It's so bad. 100%.
It's so bad. Oh, wow. We didn't even talk about that before.
No, we didn't. But no, I agree with you on that's funny. Oh, Holy Night is my favorite. And
yeah.
You know what? We both love the Killers. Why are we surprised? We love our Brandon Flowers.
I know.
We do have music in common.
That's weird. I wonder if
whoa, how did this happen? We've been to like 5 concerts together.
I don't know. I wonder if there's a certain genetic memory or, you know, that makes people that are related like the same music or something. I don't know. But all right, let's wrap it up there, Faye. And
I guess I'm gonna. Usually it's like good night, but I guess I'm gonna see you soon on Ceiling Fan. This is exciting. It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's just, like Joe said, it's just a conversation. I met him in person too.
Fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm just going for the laughs.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to
be smart.
All right, I'm gonna go change my look a little bit because it's a different show.
All right, me too. All right, guys.
All right, thank you. Merry Christmas. All right, bye.
God bless.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, YoungLove.